Extra, extra. Samantha's gonna read some questions and she don't give a fuck about it. What? Now that we've got that out of the way. So recently I put it out there to my fans and my friends and followers that I would answer some questions if they had them. And so right now I'm going to answer some questions, if you don't mind, lovelies. Okay, so these questions that I'm going to answer right now are from my good friend Nat. And there's a couple here, so I'm just going to read them and answer them, okay? So, what is the most common question, trans-related questions you get asked? The most common trans-related question I get asked is, do you still have it? When are you going to get rid of it? And do they really put it in a jar? A, yes, I do. B, I think that there's this misconception that in order to be trans, in order to be a woman, you can't have a penis. And I'm quite happy being a lady with a penis. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I did go through a lot of, body dysmorphic when I was younger. I wasn't very comfortable in my own skin, so it made it really difficult to be me. But, I think that over the years I've become a lot more comfortable with it. I've found love, and I've fallen in love and fallen out of love, and I found all these things that I never thought I would have being trans. So yeah, so that's the first one. Since transitioning, have you ever been referred to by your former name by someone either in private or public? If so, how did you handle the situation? So this is actually going to be a two-parter, because one of the questions that I was also asked by someone else was, what's your birth name? That was kind of a shady question. Nat's question is perfectly fine, but what's your birth name is kind of shady. I think that there were a couple of questions that were trolling, and I'm okay with that. My birth name, there's a lot of people out there that know it. And they've used it. Only a few people, though, have ever used it after I've transitioned, and they haven't in recent years. Even my mom, even though she almost never called me Samantha, she called me Sam. So yeah. And P.S., my name was never Sam. My birth name is not Sam. Although my legal name now is SamanthaLauzon, my name was never Sam. So in case we think that that's the, my name doesn't even start with an S. Just so we're clear. And how did I handle it? I handled it by correcting them. There was a lot of time where I got angry when I corrected people. And then I started realizing, okay, you know what? I was a person before I transitioned. So it's very important to understand that and be respectful of that to other people. Next question. What is the most transphobic comment you've ever had someone say to you? You're a man. Only women can have kids, and you can't have kids, so you're a man. And what I did was I reminded them of the millions of biological women out there in the world that can't have children either, and their not being able to have children does not make them less of a woman. And I'll answer the next one, is going to be, have you ever experienced transphobia in the workplace? What a great question, Nat. I did actually experience transphobia in the workplace. I remember one time I was working at Shoppers, and my boss at the time, I have a bit of ADD, so I have a problem focusing. I always have. And so even when I was learning my script, when I was screwing up the words, I would snap like that, and it would sort of focus me. And so I remember one day I snapped, and he looked at me and he goes, that's the only thing that still makes you a man. That was an incredibly transphobic thing to say. Needless to say, I don't work there anymore, and I'm no longer acquaintances or even friends with that person. So, yeah. That's that. That's when I decided to start working for myself, because I couldn't put up with other people anymore. I just really couldn't. Okay, so from Nonas Ni, how tall are you? I'm 6'1". And I weigh anywhere between 170 to 190 pounds, depending on how much I've drank and how much I've eaten. Unfortunately, due to the hormones that I'm on, I'm supposed to be on a very low sodium diet, so I retain water like that. Where do I buy my clothes or my shoes? Okay, so my clothes, I recently started buying my jeans from Old Navy because they have a long section, so they have a tall section. And I find the quality of the jeans to actually be really, really good. I found that I was spending $120 some odd on Second Yoga jeans from Jean Machine, and the problem with that is that they fell apart so quickly that, do you know what I mean? I was like, if my jeans are going to fall apart, it's better to just buy jeans that are a lot less expensive. Where do I buy my shoes? Oh, I also buy clothes from The Bay. The Bay actually does longer lengths in dresses and all that other stuff. And believe it or not, Additional. I have some sweaters from Additional. Because I'm 6'1", when I buy sweaters in large at regular stores, the arms go to like here on me. So I found that if the sweaters at Additional, actually their lengths are really good. So where do I buy my shoes? I buy my shoes all over. When I buy my shoes online, I buy them from sinfulshoes.com. Don't be scared off by all the hooker heels. There's actually some really great like Mary Janes and just regular platform shoes there, and great boots that I love. So you can check out sinfulshoes.com. I also shop at Payless. I've had really good luck with Payless shoes, and I like the fact that I can buy a pair of shoes for $30, and if they don't work out, I can, you know what I mean? Payless has a great return policy. Also, while I don't have really wide feet, I do wear between a size 11 to a size 13, depending on where the shoes are made. If they're made in China, I'm a 13. There's no doubt about it, and sometimes not even that. I don't know. I don't understand. I think that their foot things over in China are definitely off because, yeah. But I also buy my shoes at Additional. Believe it or not, Additional has some really great larger sizes, and they're really good quality shoes. So if you're looking for shoes in a larger size, check out Additional. And if you've got wider feet, Additional as well. They actually come in wide versions, and they have like the wide calf boots as well for like girls that are bigger. So really smart. And so the next question is from my dear friend Thomas. Thank you. How does the negative attention affect you, and who do you turn to for inspiration? So the thing is that, well, outwardly and well on my YouTube channel, I kind of make it seem like I handle everything very well, and I'm like, oh, it's just whatever, no big deal. I mean, I feel things like everyone else. When I was outed on the dirty.com and someone outed me as an escort and put all my information on it, I cried. I was really emotional. I had worked really hard at separating both of those lives and had done such a great job at it that when they both collided, it was really hurtful to me. But I thought to myself, I thought, you know what, let's use this as a learning experience. I have never been a fan of bullying of any kind, and so I decided that what that website had done was try to bully me. And the fact that they didn't even care whether it was factual information, that also I was like, okay, fine. Let's deal with this. And so I dealt with it in the only way that I knew I could, and that was to talk about it, to deal with it straight on, and hopefully in my doing so, I helped someone. That was the main purpose of me reading it online, not just to get some jokes and you know, to bash this website, but, you know, to hopefully help someone who's maybe been posted on there as well. And by them seeing how I handled it and sort of, you know, got over it, I think that hopefully helped someone as well. And who do I turn to for inspiration? This is going to sound like really cheesy, but I turn to my mom. You know, my mom persevered through a lot of things, you know, and so whenever I'm, you know, feeling like I'm going to fail or whatever, I think of all of the things that my mom went through and the fact that I turned out to be such a great kid because of her. And so I think that's who I turn to for my inspiration. Yeah. I'm glad I got to say those things to her before she passed away as well, but she's definitely who I turn to. Thanks for the question, Thomas. And the last question that I'm going to answer is from James Mehta. It's a Facebook question. And it's, who is your all-time fave gaming character and why? So my favorite gaming character has probably the character from Wet. Eliza Dushku was the voice. She did Faith on Buffy. And it was the very first time I ever played a video game where they said the word fuck. And I giggled my ass off. I laughed so hard the first time that I heard her say fuck. I couldn't believe it. But I like it because she was a really strong character. She had a tank top on. Her boobs weren't hanging out. You know, she had jeans on and cowboy boots and sometimes a jacket. And I thought, you know what? I thought, this is great gaming. This is one of those games that a kid can play and a parent doesn't have to be worried about the fact that, you know, their tits are hanging out or their ass is hanging out and all that other stuff. Like the movie Heavenly Sword. Good Lord. Good Lord. Anyhow, yeah, I hope that I answered all your questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave some questions below this video, right down there in the comments section. And I will answer them. Unfortunately, due to people's ignorance and stupidity, I've had to start making it so that the comments are approved only. So if you ask a question or a comment and put it underneath, it may take a couple of days for me to get to it before I read it. But I promise you, I respond to everyone that messages me. I respond to every email. I respond to every comment. Everything, every direct message, I definitely respond to them, okay? So if I don't get to you right away, I will get to you, I promise. As always, don't forget to share, comment, and of course, subscribe. I will catch you on the flip side, lovelies. Thank you so much. Bye.